All right. Welcome back to the Run.down post-game show here on the Strickland YouTube channel. If you're listening to this the day after Strickland Podcast Network, I am Sam. I am joined by Jeff and Tyrese. Schwinn will join us later. Knicks win 130 to 116 on the road in Cleveland in a playoff preview, which is more than likely to be the first round series. 4-5, Knicks Cavs. Um, Absolute masterclass by Jalen Brunson in the absence of Julius Randle. I mean, couldn't have asked for a better start from him. He started the game, what was it? 20, 23, 21 points in the first quarter alone.
Yeah.
33 in the first half, finished with 48, just absolutely tearing up the Cavs. Jalen Brunson, whenever he sees Donovan Mitchell on the other side, he just sees blood and just goes to work. So yeah, that's gonna be this. If games are gonna be like this in the playoffs, and then you have the factor of Julius Randle not being here for this game, Emmanuel quickly didn't have the best game. Obi Toppin got some run. He finished with 12 points. He looked all right. And we'll talk about that as we keep going. Josh Hart with some great defense down the stretch, especially on Donovan Mitchell. We'll get into all that. Hartenstein looked great. I mean, but yeah, let's stay on Jalen Brunson. 48, 4 and 9 on 18 of 32 from the field, 7 of 12 from three, 5 of 8 from the free throw line, which gets you a little bit better from the free throws. He probably would have had an easy 50 if he made his free throws. Um, but yeah, I mean, for this team to pull out this type of win on the road, I mean, we know this team is great on the road, so that's not really the pressing factor here. But to do this without Julius Randle, um, and for Jalen Brunson to set the tone like that offensively from jump, just speaks to the depth that we have on this team, to the guys that we have on this team, to the resilience of the guys on this team that they're just able to like continue to pull out wins, um, even when it seems improbable. Jalen Brunson's fourth 40-point game of the year. I honestly, we almost got close to that 50, Tyrese. We were
Okay.
expecting him to get a 50 ball. We thought it would be against Houston if he played. Daniel quickly ended up getting the 40, but he almost got close to 50, and that was something that we were tracking. But yeah, this was fun, especially down the stretch when Brunson really got heated up. Hit some big shots down the stretch, including that big three that kind of basically sealed the game for us. Huge shot right there. That's exactly why you brought him here, to hit those type of shots, to take over in those type of moments. Um, but yeah, this was a great win. And the Knicks are that much closer to clinching that playoff berth. But yeah, Jeff, how'd you feel about this game tonight?
Um, I thought Brunson did a really. It's a weird thing to say, given he scored 48 points, but I thought Brunson did a really good job setting the table, for the team, and his craft is unbelievable because I know Cleveland's not like this elite defense, but his ability to just get to the spots that he wants to get to in spite of what a defense throws at him just makes no sense for a guy his size. And when you think about like the intangibles of a basketball game, Donovan Mitchell came out and was looking to make a statement. He wanted that first take segment tomorrow. He wanted, like, Stephen A. Smith sent him the text. Like, give me it. I need engagement. I need to say that the Knicks made a mistake not trading for Donovan Mitchell. Give me that. And Mitchell came out and was looking to make a statement. And it takes a lot of guts to take a punch like that, to see a guy score 21 points on his first eight, on eight for his first eight. And like, it's just, no matter what, it seemed like the Cavs threw up, went in. And like, Jalen Brunson was just like, all right, like, I got this. And there's something more to that. That wasn't just him scoring points. That was like him sending his teammates a message like, we can we got this. Like we can take this punch and we can see it through. And one thing I've probably underrated Brunson all season, which seems like it's really hard to do, especially as a Knicks fan. But one thing I have said all season is that he is the most stabilizing presence in the NBA. I've never seen anything like it. Just his ability to score high floor baskets. The Knicks, when he's on the court, the Knicks don't really go on long droughts. And it's really hard to go on a big run against the Knicks because he'll just get to a spot and like shoot a 50% shot, you know? And so it's hard for him to have, like as much as we love Emmanuel Quickly, it's just hard for Brunson to have, like a 2 for 10 stretch, like we see from Quickly sometimes, like we see from RJ sometimes, like we see from Julius sometimes. This is why the Knicks last season were so unbelievably frustrating. They needed a guy like this. They needed someone to raise the floor of each possession, and that is what Jalen Brunson is. And it's not a surprise that Tibbs loves him so much. We'll talk about other guys. Josh Hart. Honestly, we need to talk about Josh Hart because what he did tonight was bigger than just his performance on the court. Because if Josh Hart can do that against Donovan Mitchell, you free Quentin Grimes up to guard Darius Garland. That's huge. That's their 2 best players that we're throwing guys at that we can trust and at least make their lives difficult. That is what the playoffs are. The playoffs are about matchups. And I mean, if I was a Cavs fan, I wouldn't be excited for that. I would not be excited to face a team that has at least 3 very, very good answers to your 2 best players. And then the last person I'll shout out before sending it over to Tyrese is Hardenstein. That was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable performance. 2-way performance. We saw the complete bag tonight from Hardenstein. He rim protected. He fought on the defensive glass. And he was finally allowed to, do a little bit at the top of the key and hit some cutters. And we saw the pass goggles come out. He hit Deuce for that dunk. He was faking dribble handoffs and getting the next guy. The motion was happening around him. And look, I just, sung Brunson's praises, and obviously he was coming back into that game. That was not a decision. And I thought Tibbs put him back in at about the right time. But it didn't take a mistake to put Brunson back in. He wasn't forced back in because, oh God, what are we doing without him? The Knicks extended that lead with RJ and Quickly and Hartenstein and Josh Hart and Quentin Grimes. Was Quentin Grimes the 5th or was it Deuce? No, Deuce. Deuce, Quentin Grimes, RJ, or no, Deuce, Josh Hart, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. That unit start the 4th quarter, they extended that lead. That says a lot about this team. We've been saying it all year pretty much, or after, the 10-13 start. Once we went to the 9-man rotation, it's a good fucking basketball team. Great team win. Couldn't be more pumped.
Tyrese.
Jalen Brunson! Woo! Just the Leon Rose for nepotism. I love this shit. I don't know what you can say about him aside from get your free throws. Just a great fucking game from him. 48 in the house that Larry Nance built is... You're muted.
Wow, just like LeBron erasure right there.
Yeah, but Larry Nance built it anyway. That's a game to kind of just set the tone. And I think when you're talking about this matchup, they didn't play everybody, but at the same time you kind of knew this game felt like almost a game 0 in a sense, where it's okay, what do they got? What do we got? And I think what the Cavs kind of just realized is that, we can't outscore them. We cannot outscore them. If we win, it's because our defense is good and they're missing shots. We can't outscore them because the Cavs had that incredible first quarter. Overall, they had they shot 51% from the field. They shot 46% from 3, which is an anomaly for them. And they still lost by double digits. That team has no depth. Yeah, they're missing Isaac Okoro. They're missing Jared Allen. But, Donovan Mitchell went 8 for 8 on his first shots. It was nuts. He had, 26 at halftime. He had 42 for the game. Darius Garland had a good game himself, 20 and 9. Might be not the best game by his standards, but still like a very good game. Evan Mobley had like basically compared to his like average, just about, and they still lost by double digits. Like Karis LeVert gave them something. How many times has Karis LeVert given them something this season? Not a lot. So like, this team just does not have the personnel to outscore the Knicks. And I'm not saying that like, oh, the Knicks are going to sweep. I'm saying like if it comes to like a shootout, the Knicks are just well equipped. There's just more bodies on the Knicks that can do stuff offensively than the Cavs can. I also think you have to consider the fact that like, again, the Knicks did this without their best player. The Knicks did this without their best player. Obi Toppin came in the game and like this is his first start of the season. He played really fucking well. And like still, that's not even their best player. He only played 18 minutes today, which is wild. Holy shit! But like, yeah, like, and you look at it, you look on the list. Like RJ Barrett had 14 points and 17 shots. Emmanuel quickly had 14 points and 16 shots, and they still beat you by double digits. That's terrifying. If I'm the Cavs, I'm terrified because now it's like, now we really don't have personnel to like really score with them, and they just showed they could beat us even when they're not playing their best guys. And like when they were missing their best guys, like we beat them without Allen, we beat them with all four of them playing, and now we beat them with some of our guys missing. So now I think since this rotation changed, and the only time the Cavs beat us was when they hit 24 threes in a game, and now this team is significantly better from that point. I look forward to the playoffs. I'm not saying that to like, I'm not overly confident, but I am confident in this squad. I think the Knicks can really push this team. I think this is a potentially terrifying matchup for the Cavaliers, and that's what the playoffs are. Just a game of matchups, and the Knicks match up really well with the Cavs. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it goes back to the Knicks have a higher floor per possession than the Cavs do. They're not dependent on the volatility of 3-point shooting. Like, yeah, Quickly and RJ missed a lot of their shots, but I mean, and we should say Jared Allen wasn't there, but I mean, 16 offensive rebounds. Like, okay, so they had 44 missed.
9 of them.
Yeah, Mitch had 9 of them. He was unbelievable. It's too bad he's not going to get. He was so good. I thought Tibbs was pulling him early in the third because he was like, I'm going to need you in the fourth, and I do feel like that was the intention. And then Hardenstein was just playing so well. Like that's just such a tough call. But yeah, I mean, we had 44 missed shots on the game. 16 of them were offensive rebounds. Like that's just. You score more on offensive rebounds. You score more when you have guys like Brunson and Randall when he's healthy, and guys who can, score from 5 to 15 feet at a high clip. You score. You have a high floor when you don't turn it over that much. 7 turnovers on the game. Everything in the postseason is matchups and exists at smaller margins, and those margins right there. They had 3 offensive rebounds. We had 16. They had 10 turnovers. We had 7. There's your 14-point win right there. If you want to, I think Brunson was better than Mitchell tonight, but they were both fantastic. You want to call that a wash? Okay. Jared Allen was out. Okay. Julius Randle was out. You want to call that? I mean, obviously that hurts the Knicks more, but I do think Jared Allen is important to the foundation of what the Cavs do. So, okay. The Knicks are winning at the margins, and things they do very well just make them really hard to beat because they're always going to hang around. It's just hard to pull away from a team that does what they do.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Mitch is not going to get the credit he deserves tonight, but I mean, he definitely was killing it on the glass. And like, I think that matchup with Jared Allen, I think there was a lot of talk about like Jared Allen versus Mitch when Jared Allen was in Brooklyn. But I think Mitch is like much more prepared for this matchup than people exist. And even if he isn't, like the Knicks have a really great center rotation where they can be like, all right, if Mitch doesn't have it, just toss Isaiah Hartenstein out there, and Isaiah Hartenstein has been like superb versus the Cavs. Like these last two matchups, he's just been absolutely stonewall in the paint. Last game that we played against them, he had that key stop on Donovan Mitchell. He had a couple key stops on Donovan Mitchell drives at MSG. So like it's like even if Mitch doesn't have it for certain matchups, or like certain games versus Jarrett Allen, you still have Isaiah Hartenstein there to really provide what's needed. But yeah, great stuff there from Mitch. Grimes, I mean Grimes, Grimes hasn't played as well as he has been the past 4 games, I will say, but I mean he still played pretty good defense. 4 of 9 from the field, not too shabby. I mean, with Jalen Brunson going off for 48, I mean, to provide, 14 points on 9 shots, as like some support is pretty good. But I mean, yeah, like you guys were saying earlier with having Grimes being able to be on Garland, that changes everything. If Josh Hart is able to stay with Spida, even after he started the game on a heater, so.
I will say I think this is in general a tough matchup for Quickly. I think that you saw tonight. First of all, they were. I don't know how much of this is on Quickly because I know Tibbs wants him to do it. It's the scheme. But with that being said, of course, Quickly can do better within the scheme. But the Cavs did an excellent job tonight of exploiting Quickly's willingness to over stunt. Like he's always looking to help off of a corner shooter because he trusts his ability to recover. But if you make a surprising skip pass or you anticipate what Quickly is going to do, it makes it harder for Quickly to recover. That was probably the most threes he's ceded to his individual assignment in a game that I can remember. It was just the Cavs did a really good job. And then at the other end, they were very physical with him, and I thought it impacted him. I thought it affected his ability to be efficient inside the paint. Who knows? Like it could have just been a subpar game for him. He's allowed to have this. Like I'm not jumping off the ship or whatever you want to say. I could see a more physical team that likes to shoot threes that can pass the way they can. I could see them giving him some trouble, and it was really encouraging to bring it back to your point to see Josh Hart play the way that he did.
Josh Hart just has this like knack of like always hitting the 3 when we need it, probably like
It's
the
uncanny.
most.
It's uncanny.
It's ridiculous.
My man just has insane feel.
Like, yeah, he's always just like, man, that's gonna come huge. I mean, it's gonna come up huge in the playoffs because like playoffs are all about hitting those like momentum shots, those big shots when you need them the most. So if he can continue to do that in a playoff setting, I just hope he gets more aggressive with the 3-point shooting because like
thank you, dude. That one possession that he scored on, though not the one where he hit a 3, the one where he got to the basket. He passed on 2 open threes, and it's like I'm sitting there fucking losing my shit, and then he makes a layup, and I'm like, all right. It's like the Randall syndrome, It's like I almost like expect to be annoyed, and then Josh Hart's like, yeah, take it. See, I was right. It's like, yeah, you were right, but you still should have shot the wide open 3. It was such a nice play by RJ too. RJ made this cross court skip pass that he used to make all the time, and Josh Hart caught it in rhythm, and he just didn't pull. But I mean, this isn't the night for that. Josh Hart, I mean, it hasn't been the night for that. He's been good every game. Like you said, he makes winning plays all the time. He's tremendous. Just what an acquisition.
Yeah. All right. Should we get to who else should we get to? I mean, we grazed by Obi. Obi first start of the year, in Randall's absence. 12 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3. Good to see him hitting those threes. He started off the game hitting a 3, so that's good. He had that moment with RJ that, maybe next game he'll drop 40 because that seems to be the trend. After arguing with a teammate, you drop 40. So I mean, how did you guys feel about Obi's performance?
I thought Obi did what he had to do. Like, can't really complain. He gave you what he was supposed to give you. Like, hit your shots. Don't be a complete liability defensively. I thought he was fine. Like, maybe a couple possessions where like he got burned, but I think a couple possessions where he was able to make up for it. So like, it was a neutral performance from him. Just be steady. That's all you want Obi Toppin to be, is steady. If he could give you like 12, being efficient as he normally is, then like you're fine with that.
Yeah, Tyrese nailed it. I wish the one of the two shots he had, it's funny to say because he was 5'7", he had 12 points on 5'7" shooting. The one take he had, I feel like it was the one chance he really got to like create his own shot against when he had the mismatch against Donovan Mitchell on the block, and he made such a nice move to get to the basket. Like, I feel like that was. I hope the team doesn't go away from using him in those opportunities because he got exactly to the spot he needed to get to. He just missed a bunny. Like, we'll take him going to getting to that spot 10 out of 10 times, and he's going to make that 9 out of 10 times. Like, legitimately, it was an uncontested layup that he created with Mitchell in the post. And he can do stuff like that. I'm not saying like run your offense through Obi, obviously. I'm not even saying come close to what you do with Randall. But like, I really, really liked that third quarter stretch where they used him as the primary screener, and because the Cavs were trying to hide Mitchell on him, and Brunson sees food when he sees Mitchell, and so they were trying to force that switch. But Obi's too smart for that. Obi's like, he's not just going to force the switch in space every time. He's going to correctly roll to spots, and you saw Brunson hit him inside of 10 feet with a chance to get an easy bucket like 3 different times on the night. And that's great playmaking by Brunson, but it's really, really smart spatial awareness by Obi, like just timing. It's all the stuff he's really good at. He's just such an elite processor. He has such good feel for the game. And yeah, he was really good in his minutes tonight, especially offensively. And I guess since we won, we don't have to talk about whatever the fuck that was between him and RJ on the bench. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I saw somebody tweet, did they get in a fight over who's played worse tonight? And I was like, God damn it, man. I was like, that's fucked up, man. Come on.
Oh, that's a great joke. I need to find that tweet. Holy shit, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. But yeah, I mean, should we talk about the other person that was involved in the spat tonight, or do we want to keep it positive for now?
I'm gonna let Tyrese take that one.
What do you mean? I didn't watch the game. Somebody was tweeting on my account tonight. I didn't watch the game. I didn't see the game.
Oh man, RJ, Reginald Sprinkle, Barrett.
I'm not.
I thought his defense was good. If we're gonna try and be positive, I thought his defense was good. You know, it's a good RJ defensive game when nothing stands out. When it's just like a boring, like, oh, I didn't even notice RJ was there. Like, I thought he had 7 rebounds. I thought he made an effort to fight on the defensive glass. I hate the whole, like, I hate that every conversation about RJ, because of certain people who are big RJ fans, you know, they like to make it a comparison between him and Quickly all the time, which is just dumb for so many reasons. I will say offensively, it would be easy to look at both of their shooting performances and be like, oh, like, well, they were both like equally bad. I'll have to rewatch because I hate one thing I'm learning is that I don't want to make like super definitive statements without seeing it again. But I don't think really Quickly. I thought his offensive process was really good for the most part, and RJ just seemed out of sorts on that end. Those fast breaks, like there was just, I know those were, that was just not great.
Some of those passes were just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but then he made some really good passes that just weren't converted. Like that was good too. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I'm trying to.
You look like Reggie.
It wasn't good. I'm trying to
Jeff's trying so hard to like be so nice about it. He's just like,
yeah, it wasn't good.
You could call him a shitter, Jeff. He won't get mad.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Terry
I
said
mean,
you feel
like,
about
but
RJ.
it's like
Oh
what
wait,
we
you
talked
just
about
did
last
one.
time. Like, if you can't beat Dean Wade off the bounce, like, what are we?
He got his shit set by Dean Wade. I was just like, all right, let's.
He got his shit set by Shetty Osman, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
dude, you're gonna get your shit set by the Proud Boys of Cleveland. Like, what are you doing here, man?
I just want to keep seeing like the passing pop a little bit more and more. He made a couple nice passes. I like the effort on the defensive glass. I like the rebounding. And I don't know. He just that's all I can I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best. That's all I can say really because I just don't think he's going to be able to play the way he wants to play in the shape he's in right now. So like I don't know how to analyze it properly.
Oh man, I mean the fact that we're able to like, still withstand these performances from him and like come out in these dominant wins is just a testament to the depth of this team. To keep it positive.
But also given like what was the biggest stretch of that game? It was the start of the fourth. In my opinion, it was the start of the fourth quarter. It was winning those minutes without Brunson, and this might be too low. This might be too low a bar, but like RJ didn't hurt them offensively in those minutes.
That
Offensively,
is a
I'm
low
saying.
bar. That is a low bar. But
I'm
yeah,
just
I get what
saying,
you're
like,
saying. I get what you're saying, Jeff.
then like he's not. All we've been asking for is the process to improve. He's not in those moments being like, I'm the star, I'm the 9-figure guy, run the offense through me. He's deferring to quickly. So like he's not gonna be like if he's gonna take the steps we want him to in terms of taking a step back as a star and embracing more of the role player things, spacing, defense, rebounding, his games are going to look like this more. So I think it's kind of a double standard to be like, oh, like he sucked because he didn't score 20 points. Because the joke used to be, oh, RJ scored 20 points. Whoop-de-doo. Like I don't know. We can't like have it both ways, you know? Again, he wasn't good tonight on offense. I'm just saying, like, I do like that he's not forcing it like we've seen him do in the past, or at least I didn't think so, especially with Randall out. And how many shots did he take? 16? 17? That's a lot of shots.
17.
Yeah.
17 shots, yeah.
Yeah, in 30 minutes. Yeah, Larry Israel makes a good point. We haven't even said Deuce's name. Deuce's defense is so good.
Yeah, he's another person where it's like, man, if you could just toss him out there for like 6 minutes and on give some guys a break on either Darius Garland or Spider, depending on like who's really killing us that night, then that wouldn't hurt.
I feel like I would like to see it go to 10 just to see like Deuce McBride minutes. I think there's a legitimate like case to make that like slowing down Garland in those minutes that he plays without Mitchell and just having Deuce on him would be a really good way to like use Deuce situationally. Especially if you're running him with like in a unit with Grimes and IQ, which frees them up to do more offensively. It probably won't happen unless Julius is out. But yeah, man, I loved Deuce. He was so active. He made life difficult for those guys. I think once the defensive stats come out, I wouldn't be surprised if they shot like 2 for 9 on his shots or whatever. Like they just got no separation. He was just in their face constantly, man. Like he's just a winning player. Like he's a winning player, and if he ever gets a semblance of a shot, like watch out, because that guy's going to be on championship rotation teams.
I mean, what game was it that he was like absolutely scorching? It was the Portland game. I mean, that kind of gives you like a preview of what he can be in this league if things come together for him, offensively and defensively. So it's a very fun player in there. Just has to
Did y'all notice Tibbs did the thing that 54 seconds left in the third quarter? and there was a break in the action, like a turn. I don't know if it was a turnover, it was like something that the refs blew the whistle after a Knicks possession. So very likely it was going to be 2 Cavs possessions, 1 Knicks possession to end the quarter. And Tibbs pulled Brunson and put Deuce in and made sure that Deuce was on the court for that ratio, for 2 Cavs possessions. That's stuff you really want to see from Tibbs. It's small stuff like he's just been I don't even know what is happening. Like he just does so many things right. That was just another correct button pushed by Tibbs. I thought it was a really good decision. He didn't just say, "Oh, Randall's out. I'm going to default play Brunson the entire first and third every single time." He was like, "Oh, this is better for the team for us to have Deuce out there for 2 defensive possessions," and he was right.
Our fearless leader, Tom Thibodeau, making the right adjustments as per usual.
Coach, we never doubted him here on this post-game show.
Never did. Stuck with it.
Oh man! Before we actually get into comments, I'm going to get into the ad read, but I do want to address this. The air ball for Mitchell that RJ rebounded with his foot on the baseline. Man, that possession, that was like the start of like a rough RJ stretch where he stepped on the baseline, and then I forgot the possession after that what happened, but yeah.
That was just, I don't know what he was doing.
I don't think he knew what he was doing. All right, let's get into the ad read before we hop into some comments, because we do have a bunch rolling in. Shout out to the 40 plus people that are in here. Make sure y'all leave a like and subscribe if you're new. We are on our way to 1K subs. We just surpassed 700 subs. So, shout out to everyone that's been tuning in. All right. NBA fans, it's time to bring the hoops action to the palm of your hand with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, for a limited time, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every day. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, opt in, and place a same-game parlay on any NBA game. And if it doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back. Download the app now. Sign up with code TBPN. New customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, with code TBPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes or show description for details. That's code TBPN. It is too late for people to put in their Emmanuel Quickly 6 Man of the Year bets because he is at minus 450, 500 places.
I saw minus 640.
Sheesh. Jesus.
It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
I am buying another Emmanuel Quickly jersey when that bet cashes, whenever that day is that the award get announced. So,
well, I guess he had a bad game, so he went down to only minus 600.
Aww.
Brogdon had a good game tonight. God, they won by 8 and they lost his minutes. What's his deal? Why can't they ever win his minutes? I need to rewind. I need to do a study on this. This makes no sense.
That's insane.
They won by 8 and lost he played 32 minutes and they lost his 32 minutes by 7 in a game they won by 8. Meanwhile, Quickly led the game in plus minus. He always does. It's so funny. There's some guy was doing fucking serious gymnastics and was like, okay, if you sort the games that Quickly, only the ones he came off the bench, here's what his averages are. And I don't think, which is totally disingenuous, by the way, because that includes games when he was playing not a lot early in the season. So you can't have it both ways. You either count it all or you don't. But anyways, and it was God, are you really sorting by points per game? Are we really still doing this in the year of our Lord 2023 where it's so dumb?
Yeah, very dumb. All right, let's get into some comments. All right, let's see. JL starts us off with a great one. Who is excited for the RJ Barrett versus Karis LeVert CTE off in the playoffs? Not me. That is an interesting matchup. RJ Barrett versus Karis LeVert.
They're looking at a mirror. They're doing the Spider-Man meme.
I mean, I feel like that could actually, that could be I mean, like if things end up being even on both sides, maybe that's a matchup that swings either way for a team. Like I don't know, but I don't think it'll be that close for the Knicks to really be relying on an RJ Barrett versus Karis LeVert matchup because I just think that the Knicks are just too deep of a team.
Yep.
They've been too resilient. Like they've like most of these guys on the Knicks, I mean, aside from Jalen Brunson, really haven't been on like playoff teams that went deep. So they really don't know like really like what the stakes are. And maybe that's a good thing because like they go into it with like I guess a little bit of blind confidence. Our guys, they were in a playoff series for like what 5 games, and all of them were like basically blowouts. That have been there. Um, but yeah, I just feel like we've been in so many games this year, where it's had playoff like feel in the end of these games with like actual stakes with our standings on the line and stuff like that. And this team has come out time and time again missing key guys, missing Mitchell Robinson games, missing Jalen Brunson for games, missing Julius Randle now for this one. Like they've come out on top a whole bunch of these games. I just think I'm just really confident in like the group of guys that we got and their resilience. And hopefully it doesn't come down to an RJ Barrett versus Karis LeVert CTE off. I know they'll both have their moments, and you know, both respective fan bases will um be getting pissed off. There was a Karis LeVert moment today where I tweeted it was a Karis LeVert moment where he had the 2-on-1 and he took it up and smoked the layup. That was hilarious.
I mean, that was quickly.
Yeah,
That quickly stopped 3 different 1-on-2s.
he was amazing.
His transition defense is insane. Like I didn't even think his defense was all that good tonight, but his transition defense, holy shit, he has such good instincts back there.
He had,
like,
he had that one on Darius Garland too, where he just like went straight up, and Darius Garland just like absolutely smoked it.
Yep. I feel like they don't expect him. I feel like they think it's going to be an easier task than it ends up being
because he looks small.
Right. Stacy actually, we were talking a little bit today. He had a really good point about that. He was like, I wonder if because I think it was Kranjis said that Quickly's luck factor is really high in terms of how opponents shoot when he's the nearest defender and what their actual expectation is. And Stacy was like, but his luck factor has been high all 3 seasons he's been in the NBA. So is he the luckiest player in the NBA, or is there maybe something more to it? And I was like, well, I mean, I do think not all closeouts are created equally. You know, like effort is a part of it. So like just throwing everything into a vacuum and being like, he's supposed to shoot X% here is kind of, I'm not going to say it's bad, but I would say it's imperfect data. And Quickly is definitely in the upper echelon in terms of effort on closing out, in terms of having wingspan that can surprise a shooter. Like a shooter sees a 6'3" guy closing out on him, and all of a sudden he's got these crazy long arms, you know, and he's sprinting out. It doesn't surprise me that guys shoot worse than they're supposed to when Quickly's around. That's not a surprise to me. And transition is very similar. His transition defense is excellent.
Yeah. Clyde Frazier says this was Hartenstein's win as almost as much as it was Brunson's. So many nice performances, good team win, but Hartenstein was a cut above there in the second half. Yeah, his defense. I mean, I can't say enough about his defense. So many key plays, stonewalling guys. He had Evan Mobley seeing ghosts out there where he just absolutely smoked a point blank look. Had that key stop on Lamar Stevens where, you know, Grimes was able to save the ball, keep it in bounds. He just was amazing. And like the fact that we're saying this compared to where he was to start the season, man, just incredible from him to absolutely turn his season around, despite not being utilized in the way that he probably envisioned himself being utilized. But now he is finally getting to showcase some of what we expected from him when we signed him, and now it's all coming together in just like this nice package altogether.
Yeah, that's a really great point by you. It just says a lot about his character. And like we say at every post game, like good for the front office for valuing that in players. Clearly they value it in who they draft. You know, say what you want about RJ and Obi and Quickly. People say what they want about all those guys. Deuce, Grimes. All these guys are very clearly high character guys who who work hard and, team first guys. Hartenstein very easily could have said after that Cavs game, because it's coincidental that it's happening. It almost feels like it's coming full circle against the Cavs, because it was the Cavs game at MSG when he said, I've got to be better. And he didn't put it on the coach. He didn't put it on his usage. He was basically like, I would boo me too. Like that. He didn't say it, but that's what he was saying. He was saying, I've got to be better, and I will. And he's been better almost every game he's played since that day. Kudos to him for like basically putting the onus on himself and then fulfilling it. That's wild. And he was just so good tonight.
A true man of his word. All a man has is his word in this world. All right, let's see. Blood of the Panta says, looks like Obi can still help this team win with some minutes. Funny how that works. Yeah, I mean, there were some games where his minutes were rough. I didn't watch the Orlando game, but I heard his minutes were rough in that one.
The Orlando game at Orlando.
Orlando.
My god, yeah. He was like minus 30 in 12 minutes or something that game. Yeah. No, he was.
So
really
it's like.
bad.
So it's like he can help when he gets minutes. It's just a matter of him, like, showcasing confidence like he did tonight. And if you can play like you did tonight, then, I think with Julius Randle coming off fresh off an ankle injury for game 1, game 2, perfect time to, allow Obi to keep this momentum rolling, see how he goes these next 4 games. We have some favorable matchups, I think, for Obi with the Wizards. Wizards, a bunch of their guys are out and stuff like that, or in our lineups. Pelicans, I don't know who's the 4 for them, but I think that would be a favorable matchup for him. And then we play the Pacers twice. And I think that's a good matchup for Obi as well. So I think this is like perfect momentum for him going into the playoffs, and maybe he can like spot Julius some minutes if Julius isn't all the way 100%. Coming into those first couple of games in the playoffs.
Yeah, I just I feel like most of us have, played some form of sports, and I think everyone should be familiar with the idea that like flow and rhythm matter. And when you play at that high level, like Obi was a top I actually don't think he was a top recruit, but he was National Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere he's gone, he's been the guy, and to go from that to where he's been in New York, again, not fully exonerating him, but it's not really a surprise that it's hard for him in these small little 6-minute spurts where he isn't involved in the action and he barely touches the ball besides to catch it and toss it back to the point guard. I'm not sure what that accomplishes, but they do it at the start of like every play. It's not really that surprising that we've seen some fluctuating in his output as a shooter and just his overall ability to impact the game. It will not surprise me at all if these next 4 games he just continues to do this as he's more involved, because more involvement for him increases his feel for the game, increases his flow and his rhythm. And that is what a lot of these guys, that's how these guys thrive. So yeah, I mean, somebody was already saying to me like, oh, weren't you saying to just take him out of the rotation, put Deuce in the rotation, and give Josh Hart the backup 4 minutes? Yes, I was saying that because I don't think that Obi is helping the Knicks when Julius Randle's healthy. I just don't. I don't think Julius Randle, when he was playing 36 to 40 minutes every night, I just don't think that Obi gets into the game enough in those short spurts as the 9th option that when we're in the playoffs, he's going to help the team. I just think you might as well just give him to Josh Hart. I think Deuce is more likely to help the team. But that doesn't mean that I'm out on Obi Toppin as a player or out on him in an expanded role. I just think this is a very unique situation, and Obi is a good basketball player who can impact games positively. We've seen it for a year and a half. The back half of his rookie season and then almost the entire second season. It's just so yeah, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that when he's given, a little bit of a larger role and he gets to touch the ball more, that he's helpful.
Yeah, everything you say, I agree with. Obi Toppin is definitely one of those like guys who needs to feel the game a little bit before he starts to get involved in it. And I think you saw it towards the end of the second quarter, where like he hit those threes early, but I feel like in the second quarter he was really shining because like he missed that dunk and then he made his next two attempts at the rim. He was running the floor more. He ended it with a dunk as well, like a really emphatic one that like felt like an Obi dunk. Um, he hasn't had a lot of those recently, where like you see him like get that full extension, cock it back, and really throw it down. I do think part of that does have to do with the fact that like he's still recovering from that leg break earlier in the year. Like that's going to rob you of your athleticism, regardless of the circumstances. And maybe like with an all season, he'll be more explosive, but like he's still making it work, and I still feel like he's still rounding himself into form. And it's been longer because he hasn't been able to get consistent minutes. But if he's just able to do the things that he does and that we know he can do, is like be a capable corner shooter, um, give effort on the boards, and use your incredible processing and feel and touch pass ability to like make the right reads, then like he will be fine. He will help them win games. I don't think he'll help them win games as much as Deuce, but he will still help them win games, especially while Julius is down. Like he's a capable NBA player. I don't think anybody said he wasn't a capable NBA player. He just doesn't fit this team. Yeah, I definitely think a couple people said he's not a capable NBA player. Like,
bro, you called him Gumby.
I'm not wrong. He walks like Gumby.
I'm just fucking with you.
I know. He looks like one of those like Aquaman villains, but like
What? Dog, what?
I forgot the name of them, but like a seaweed monster. Like
What?
light skinned piece of coral. But
Wow.
but like, yeah, he is a functional basketball player. He's not a scrub with minutes. Without minutes, he's a scrub. But like you can say that about a lot of players in the league. So in this chance where he's getting extended run, and then even the 6 minutes that he's getting extra than he would normally get probably helps him out a lot. And playing with Brunson and guys like that helps him out a lot. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, that's a great point about the Brunson part of it. It wouldn't surprise me if they developed more chemistry. Like I said, Brunson had 3 or 4 potential assists to Obi tonight, and don't know if you can say that about another game all season with Brunson and Obi, or just any player in Obi. Like he's just not that consistently a part of the offense yet, or he hasn't been.
Yeah. Jordan Bub. This is a big thing right here. The Knicks held Miami to 16 points in the fourth quarter Wednesday night. Tonight, they limit the Cavs to 14 in the fourth on a night when no one was missing. How much? I hate to do this. Do I hate to do it? I don't know. How much do we credit this to, Julius Randle not playing in the fourth quarter of these games? I mean, he's been really terrible defensively. And the fact that Thibs has to put more defensive-minded players out on the court, and match up better with some of these teams. I mean,
it's a little bit. I would say it's a little bit between, but like, how can replacing Julius Randle with like Josh Hart has been default closing? So Josh Hart, Quentin Grimes, and Emmanuel Quickley are the team's 3 best perimeter defenders. Not in that order. Tibbs has had to choose 1 or 2 of them because Grimes hasn't been closing. It's been either Quickley or RJ with Hart. That's basically been the most popular closing lineup. These last 2 games, he's closing with all 3 of those. So, like, yeah, when you take out Julius Randle and then all of a sudden you're adding in your 3 you're adding in your 3 best perimeter defenders, that's going to help. I think that's going to help. I'm sure there's some volatility, some we're on the positive end of the luck factor, in these fourth
That was a
quarters.
big thing during the We Here year, by the way.
Yeah.
The whole luck thing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, we're playing our three best wing defenders, so I think you're spot on. I think definitely not having Randall out there is going to help on that end. It's just I don't how much it's going to probably or not probably it's going to hurt in the grand scheme of things not having him out there.
Yeah, like I think it's just more like the best personnel for closing these games out. And I also think it doesn't help that like we haven't faced really good offensive teams. Like the Heat are a dog shit offense. The Cavs, despite their rating, are a dog shit offense. When like Mitchell doesn't have it going. So like I do think it's like personnel. I do think it's lineup. I do think it's partly opponent as well. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I you never want to. Nobody's happy about this injury. That's nobody wanted that. Like Randall could have played 82 games. That would have been an amazing thing to see because it's just not that time anymore. But this injury simultaneously is getting Randall rest that, in my opinion, he clearly needed, and forcing Tibbs to see the benefit of Hart at the 4. Like this is. I mean, I tend to be an optimist, but this could end up working out well for the Knicks, even if it took something horrible to get Tibbs to see it. Because he said it in the press conference when we traded for Josh Hart. He was like, "Oh, I like Josh because he can play 3, he can play 4," and he didn't play Josh Hart at power forward like once. Like he did it in crunch time once when Randall was healthy, I think. But aside from that, like he just hasn't done it. And our team is not a team with a superstar like Steph Curry or LeBron James. Like I know Jalen Brunson just put up 48. I know we have very good basketball players. You know, Julius Randle's going to be an All-NBA player. Maybe Jalen Brunson has an argument for one as well. But this isn't a stars and scrubs team. This is a deep, versatile team. And the path forward to maximize this team has always been embracing that versatility. And I pray we're going to start doing that more, even when Randall's back.
We use Hardstone at the top of the key. I'm so happy.
The thing with Tibbs though is like he's forced to do this stuff when guys are out, which is like the most annoying thing because like then he reverts back to default settings as soon as like guys come back and he has his whole main group of guys. So it's like maybe he sees something in here and he utilizes it going forward in the playoffs. That would be amazing. But I will not hold out hope for it, unfortunately.
I'll take him just using a challenge once.
True.
I'll take that. Like how many games, man?
He thinks he's like he must think like they're stocking up for like he's like stockpiling them for the playoffs or something.
What do you mean I don't have 17 challenges?
Yeah, he's gonna be so pissed game 1 when he doesn't have like 17 challenges to use. He's like, what the hell? I was like saving them all year.
You gotta be fucking kidding me, Rev. You don't know the fucking rules.
It's like somebody, and clearly, like Chris was on with Prez on the draft pod recently, and he said that no team in any of the 4 major American sports invests more in analytics than the Knicks. And like so, clearly the Knicks are an analytically inclined team. Where is the guy, the little nerd, to go down there? Like, I'll do it. I'll do it for $10,000 a year. Seriously,
Tibbs is probably like stuffing him in a locker.
I don't like. Just somebody explain to him that a coach. It's really hard for them to impact 2 points of EV. It really is. Like it's really hard for a coach to do that. I get the death scenario of using your challenge early and then a call happens in the final 2 minutes of a game and you don't have your challenge. I get that terrifies you, but we've played 82 games this season. How many times in the final 2 minutes has Tibbs been like, "Oh, thank God I have my challenge"? 4 times? Like maybe help us guarantee some points when you can. It's just, again, not the night for that, but we were talking about Tibbs adjustments. I would like him to adjust to making fucking challenges. Take over.
Schwinn coming onto the
Breathing
Postgame,
hard
just
as fuck.
breathing
All right,
heavily.
Marcus.
Just came back from running up the stairs, son.
I came back from many things. What I came back from was witnessing a fucking beatdown. That was a beatdown. Like that was, what was it? It was 47-42 at the end of the first quarter.
Mhm.
What was the final score? 130, 116.
Yeah.
What's the math after that? It's like 7 billion to 7. I don't know, whatever the fuck it was. Like they beat the shit out of them. And the only thing that was going to save them was Donovan Mitchell continuing to go nuclear. And he couldn't sustain it because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable to just be God for a quarter. It's not. Unless you're Jalen Brunson. But like, no, this was Jalen Brunson he was amazing. He was the best player on the floor. He proved exactly why he shut on Donovan Mitchell last year. And it didn't have to do with, you didn't have a supporting cast. No. Shut up. No, it wouldn't have anything to do with that. He just
Spider is food.
Spider is food. Spider. We're not gonna call him Spider. That gives him. He's Spider. He's got the ER on that. He sucks.
The ER on that.
Yeah. He's Spider. He doesn't get the respect of like the cool like no, you're Spider.
You're using
dude.
the ER on him? That's crazy, son.
Well, okay. Like clearly that's not what I meant, but calm down. But the spider he was caught up in his own cobweb today. That's what happened. He was
Bars.
what?
That is a bar right
bars.
there.
He said
it is a
bars.
bar. Yeah.
Bars.
Yeah, he was terrible. He was terrible after the first quarter. What did he do after the first quarter? Honestly, what did he do after the first quarter? Dribble a lot, do a lot of cool fucking.
I think it
swing.
helped too that he got into foul trouble and he had to sit at the end of the
Yeah,
half.
yeah, it helped the Cavs. You're right. Because we didn't have any food to fucking just hunt. No, like he is obvious. Look, he's a great player, but like
He's got his limitations.
the limitations are very visible on what this team is, and it's this right. And this is the thing: people will be like, "Well, they didn't have Jared Allen." You're right; they didn't have Jared Allen. That's the best spacing they're ever gonna have. That's the best spacing they're ever gonna have tonight. That's it. That's the best spacing they will have on any fucking game that they want. And if they have Jared Allen back, guess what happens? All that drive and kick shit you saw in the first quarter that the Knicks couldn't cover, that's gone. It's gone.
Yep.
It is fucking gone. The Knicks they're a terrible matchup for this team. And what I saw tonight is even if they go small, we're still a terrible matchup for them because we have the personnel to just absolutely destroy them. That last 4:30, I'm sure you guys already talked about this, but that last 4:30 of the game, they didn't score a fucking point. And I got to give Tibbs a lot of credit for this because one of my biggest criticisms of Tibbs has been that when we do go small, when we do have these more mobile lineups and they don't really know what the fuck they're doing, they knew exactly what the fuck they were doing after that timeout. It was 123-116. Out of that timeout, go watch every single possession the Cavs had. They didn't get a clean look. And when they got a clean look,
it was nasty for them.
And when they got a clean look, it was with somebody running out at them. It was with I'm not gonna lie, like I've watched a lot of games of like you watch a lot of Warriors games. You watch enough Warriors games. You'll watch these games where like they put Draymond at the 5 and you're like, well, they're kicking out of these corner shooters. These guys can never make 3. What the fuck? Like, it's because they know that shot, they got to make it. They have to make it, and they've got a guy running out at them. Like, it was the same thing. And I got to say, man, you put Brunson out there. Is he food on defense? Maybe. But you put him out there, you start trapping, and you put those 3 guys as your mobile perimeter defenders around him, and then you had Hartenstein, who, by the way, man, if you're going to get like MVP Brunson, the guy right after him, Hartenstein. Hartenstein was unbelievable tonight. Like, and he's been unbelievable now for like 2 months, really. Like, he got pulled today in the first half after I think 7:30 into the second quarter. I thought I got why he came out. I didn't think it necessarily needed to happen, but I loved Tibbs sticking with him in the second half. When Mobley came back in, and he was amazing. He was absolutely incredible. He didn't foul at the rim, which, by the way, he sucked at to start this year, and that's something he
Yeah,
sucked
we were
at.
speaking on that.
Yeah, that's something
We were
he
talking
sucked
about
at.
like the change in his play since
This
the
is
beginning
this
of the
is
year.
this is what we call in the industry. We call this in the industry player development. Like we are developing players. Isaiah Hartenstein to start the year couldn't stop fouling, could not box out, could not get a contested rebound for his fucking life. And tonight, he was absolutely fucking nails across the board on all that shit. He was amazing. And then you put him with Hart, with Quick, with Grimes. I mean, that unit to close the game, that was that was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable defensive performance on the stretch. I cannot say enough about Hartenstein and Brunson specifically. Those two guys obviously were just amazing to me individually. But those other three guys, Grimes, Quick, Hart, defensively, Hart especially, unreal. Unreal. I thought Hart actually completely changed the game in the second quarter when he came in. When he was on Donovan Mitchell, he made him uncomfortable. You could fucking see it. You could sense it. You could see it. You could see it in how his fucking field. I mean, I don't know. But you could see it when his field goal percentages went from like it was like it was like, man, I'm at a fucking roller coaster or some shit. Like that shit was unreal. I just can't say enough about those guys. And I don't know if you guys talked about RJ, but like
we did.
If you guys talk about RJ, I'll say this is
we had some laughs.
That could have been like a 20-point game 3 minutes into the fourth quarter if it wasn't for RJ. And I don't say that with any like joy in my heart, contrary to popular belief. I don't love like RJ, but he was really like that.
When you're doing it for the clicks, man. Come on.
I know, no, he was just that destructive tonight on the floor, and even him like that just tells you how good this team is.
I said the same thing.
That was an amazing performance tonight, and I know they didn't have Allen, they didn't have Okoro. Give me a fucking break, dude. Give me a break.
Cavs fans talking about Okoro.
The Knicks didn't have Julius Randle.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't care. I don't care.
Could easily put up 30 on them tonight.
Schwinn, you weren't here when Sam raised the question, so I am curious what you think, because I think it's a good question, and I thought it was a good question. I think it's an even better question after.
Can I guess the question?
Yes, I'm going to ask it to you right now. Oh, you're going to guess the question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to guess the question. Let me guess the question.
Let's hear it.
Sam asked the question, so it's obviously something really negative because Sam's a negative guy.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got to be. Yeah, Sam's got to be positive when he's like teaching his kids. I get it. He's and all that shit. He's negative across the rest of his life. It's probably like it's probably like would they have won that game if they closed with RJ and Randall?
You're kind of close, but you're not close. I mean, I don't know. It's definitely not the spirit. The question he asked is because somebody said that the Knicks gave up 16 points in the fourth quarter against Miami and 14 points in the fourth quarter against the Cavs. And what he asked was basically, I'm going to expand a little bit. Since the offense runs through Brunson anyway, is the defense enough better with the team's three best defenders out there simultaneously that there is a conversation to be had that, like, are they going to be better in these moments without Randall because so much of the offense runs through Brunson anyways?
I think yes. Like, especially in a matchup like this where you didn't you weren't going to get dominated on the glass here, right? Like, Mobley is like a fucking twig figure right now. He's not built like he's going to be in 2-3 years. He's just not that guy yet. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like I think there are a lot of matchups where this is your best closing lineup, and it's not just like, to be fair to Mitch was I thought Mitch was really good tonight. So this is not a knock on Mitch at all. But like, there are just things that Hartenstein gives you. There are dimensions he opens up that Mitchell's never going to have. Like that run. So it was 107-104. And I got to say, this is what I think Tibbs deserves the absolute most credit for, right? The Cavs cut it to 107-104. It was like 10:08 left in the fourth. He calls a timeout. And I was 100% sure. I was like 1,000% sure in my mind. He's going to come out of this timeout. It's going to be Brunson. Like Brunson's coming back in and we're just going to do like Brunson offense the rest of the way and milk the clock. That's all we're going to do. He didn't do that. He left those guys in. He left quick. It was quickly Deuce, Hart, RJ, and Hartenstein, if I remember correctly. And he left those guys in. And they pushed the lead out to 115-104. Cavs called timeout. He still didn't pull them out. He let them play a little more. They pushed it out to 119-104. Then the Cavs got a 3, and then he put Brunson back in. And, like, I can't say enough about Tibbs to, like, the fact that he did that says so much about his growth as a coach. At an age, let's be completely fucking honest, at an age where you don't expect growth from a coach like that. And on top of that, like, to talk to to speak to what you were asking me, like, I think he's showing that maybe with Randall healthy, I don't think he's nearly that flexible. But without Randall, I don't know, man. Like, he might be pretty fucking flexible. He might be. Like, he's
forced to be flexible when he's missing a cog.
That's always been my thing with him. Is that, like, when he is forced to be flexible, he actually is capable of it. We saw this at the end of last year when he didn't have Randall, and I was like, wait, so now we're doing like all these fun things? This is cool. But like, I mean, fuck all that. It just, you're right. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, when he pulled Deuce in that moment, I didn't necessarily think that was fair, but I totally understood it. It's like, okay, you pushed the lead out, you did your job. That's actually the kind of thing that, like, we've criticized him for in the past, right? Where it's like, okay, this lineup has held water long enough. Just fucking move on now. Don't try to push it too long. He did that. He was like, okay, this unit actually somehow pushed the lead to 15. They made it 3. I'm done. I'm bringing my best guy back in. The guy that's been on fucking fire all night. I'm going to let him ride us home. And he made the right call to me. Like, Brunson was not actually that great down the stretch, but he definitely, I at the end of the day, like, I understand the call, and he made the right call because when it needed to happen, Brunson made the 2 biggest baskets of the night, right? He made that step back 3 when he needed to make the step back 3, okay? And then he made that layup out of the timeout after 123-116. He makes a layup out of the timeout that pushes it back up to 9. And from that point on, the Knicks defense, and this is an absolute 100% credit to Tibbs, they started trapping every fucking ball screen for Donovan Mitchell. They were like, you can try to split this, but even if you split this, we're going to have a guy right there on the fucking nail, and you can hit the corner shooter, but we're daring you to do that. Make Chetty Osman beat us. Make Dean Wade. Make Dean Wade. Make these fucking losers beat us. Make these fucking bums who haven't beat anybody all year, make them beat us. I think he deserves all kinds of credit for that. And not just that, the rotations. Like, these guys knew exactly what needed to happen. So when he didn't split the double team and he would pass it, they knew who needed to go to the ball, who needed to go to it was an incredible
2020, 2021 vibes when the defense used to be
that actually does them a disservice because that 2021 team could not have done what they did tonight. They did not have the capabilities. Where does
personnel wise,
yeah. You can find there's that fun meme. It's like, I think you lack the facilities, big man. Like they lack the facilities for that shit. That team could not have done what this team did. They couldn't have. And to be quite honest, like, I don't know if Mitch could make some of the rotations that Hartenstein made tonight. I don't think he could have. I thought Hartenstein was incredible tonight. His mobility, now that apparently he fixed his fucking Achilles, that guy is playing out of
some German doctors.
He is playing out of his fucking mind.
Falco
He's playing great, and I can't say enough, man. You win a season, like they won the season series against Cleveland. And by the way, 3 of the games they played against Cleveland were with their big four. Or 2 of them were their big four, 2 of them were without Allen. But Allen misses games, so what the fuck do you want me to do? Fucking cry about it? We didn't have Randall tonight, so what if we had lost tonight? If the Knicks didn't have Randall tonight and they had lost, would any Knicks fan have been like, "Oh my god, we didn't have Julius. We can't fucking no, like we can't criticize." No, we would have criticized the Knicks. So give me a break. Like the Knicks beat these guys 3-1 in a season series. And I don't think any of these games were lighthearted. They weren't. They were not. Like
They had playoff like feel.
And we know that there's now inexorably. How do you say that word? Inexorably a link between these teams after the Donovan Mitchell trade. We know that there's a link.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me Donovan Mitchell came out tonight like he fucking greased his fucking hamstrings for 3 days with WD-40. Like, I've never seen him so spry. He was just bombing out of fucking crossovers like I'd never seen before. And they weathered that storm. Thank God for Jalen Brunson. Thank God for that first quarter, by the way, in terms of pure shot making between Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell, that was pay-per-view shit. Like you're not gonna see that. Like that was insane. But the Knicks weathered that storm. They beat them. They beat them 3-1. They beat the Heat 3-1. They beat the Celtics 2-1. When the fuck is the last time the Knicks did any of those 3 things in the same season?
And the fact that
I would bet my money without even looking, they haven't done that. They didn't do that in 2012, 2013. And I'll say this: I tweeted this, and I want to say this because I think it's really important to say. Sometimes at the start of the season, you already know your team is like. It's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be really good. And you're supposed to fucking challenge for shit. And it's supposed to matter and everything matters. And sometimes you just stumble across it. Or it just happens. And the Knicks are the latter. But they've got like a window here this year and next year before they got to start paying guys. They've got a window. They should try to capitalize on it. That's all I'll say. Like, this is a really good team. Their depth is really good. Grimes was awesome tonight. Hart was awesome tonight. Quickly, despite shooting a bad percentage from the field tonight, I thought was really good tonight. Hartenstein, amazing tonight. Amazing. Incredible performance from him tonight. Mitch, solid tonight. Like, Brunson, obviously, all NBA performance tonight. You had fucking... $27 million sitting on the fucking bench healing his ankle tonight. You had another $25 million doing whatever the fuck he was doing to start the second half. I don't know what the hell that was. And you beat the shit out of a team that has, 3 guys that everybody thinks is better than anybody on the Knicks. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I think this team it's really good. They should not waste it. And if they can't win the first round series this year because Julius can't make it back, and I want to be completely clear on this, Julius' injury looked pretty bad. If he can't make it back, he should not rush back. He shouldn't. Like he's 28. There's time. Like he does not need to rush back, and he shouldn't rush back, and he shouldn't feel the pressure to rush back. But this team is on the clock. Like next year is a very go time type season. Where you've got all these guys still on nice prices and nice contracts, and you got your depth and everything. You've got a little window here to make some noise. Hopefully the Knicks make some noise.
And Schwinn, to your point about the season series versus Boston, Cleveland, and who's the other team? Miami. You're looking here, Jordan Bubb's comment, New York Knicks wins while Jalen Brunson or Julius Randle's missing. Miami Heat at home twice, Boston Celtics on the road. Now the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road. It mentions the Lakers. But a lot of these games have been gritty wins on the road that, this team has had to push through some shit to get these wins.
Well, the biggest thing to me is like they've got like. All right, I'm not going to blow up anybody's spot here, but there are a lot of people that question.
Whoa! You have to say what you were going to say.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. But there are a lot of people that question this team's talent level coming into the season, regardless of full health or not. I think we can put those to rest. This team's talent level is not like they are the deepest team in the NBA. You can give me your Clippers, give me your fucking whoever the fuck you want. I will take this team's top 12 over any other team's top 12. I will. And there's evidence of that throughout the season. We went and won a double overtime game in Boston without our starting point guard. We went and won a game in Cleveland without our starting all-star,
NBA,
maybe all-NBA power forward. Like, we have won games without our stud guys. Okay? So we went 8-6 without Mitch, and we were starting Jericho Sims, who's not a starting center in the NBA. Because Tibbs won't start him because, like, and I hate that about Tibbs, but I kind of get it where it's like he'd rather fuck up one thing than, like, Macri talked about this in his newsletter today. He'd rather fuck up one thing than fuck up multiple things. Like, then like, I get that. Okay, fine. We went 8-6 in that stretch without Mitch, and that was like probably our hardest stretch of the season. Me and Jeff talked about it. Jeff was like, I don't know if we're gonna even go 500. And I was like, I think we'll probably go above 500. Like, I think we probably will. And we went 8-6. I don't know if that was the exact conversation, but I was like pretty confident about our team then. And
yeah, no, you were. No, you
They
projected higher, and I was like very surprised. I was very down. No, the reason I gave a confused look is I thought I zoned out for a second. I thought you were talking about on the season. And
yeah,
so
no, but my point is, like, this team just like when at the end of last season, let's go back to the end of last season, right? At the end of last season, right? I would say there were a lot of fucking people that were like, well, you know, this is what the team is talent level. They couldn't do any better. I think there's enough evidence that we've seen this season that that's not the case.
Yep.
Talent wasn't deployed properly. It's okay. That happens. I don't want to harp on that. I'm not going to shit on Tibbs for that right now. This is too good of a time in this point in the season. I really don't give a shit to like go back to like shit on. But my point being is like, if you went back to last season and you weren't a fucking gigantic moron piece of shit, you would have been like, okay, he didn't deploy the talent properly. Okay, this team is probably better than 37-45, which their point differential would have told you if you weren't a fucking retard. Would have told you, like, yeah, they were better than that. They were 42-40 by their point differential, by the way. And like you're kind of seeing that now, right? Like, where it's they miss Brunson's missed 11 games, I think, this season. They're 6-5 in those games. Randall's missed one game. They're 1-0. Like, these aren't huge samples, but they show you that some of the talent that we already had, plus an addition like Hart, plus an addition like Brunson, they push this team into a direction that is clearly positive. And that was kind of the thing that I remember tweeting this. I think it might have been during one of the Nets games at the end of last year where I was like, I think the front office has done a really good job of getting like guys that are solid fucking supporting acts, really good, you know, supplementary players. They just need to find their stars. Guess what? They found a star. They found a star this offseason for 4 years, $100 million that Mark Cuban couldn't fucking pay, apparently.
He rather pay for Twitter Blue.
And now that brings everything else into balance. And like, I don't know. Like, I know it sounds like crazy, but I just think this front office has done such an incredible job across the board. And I think it just flows down from there, right? Like I think Tibbs has done a really good job, especially now since post All-Star break. I think he's done a really good job. He's done a fucking really good job. And you see all these players developing, and it's just like, to me, and not just developing, but like you see that fucking instant tonight, right? With RJ and Obi, where they go at it and it's like over, it's done, whatever. Randall and Quick have their moment, and it's like they brush it aside. And it's like, there's just a lot of fucking like we're about the work type of mentality of the squad, and I really like it. And I just think this is the closest. Like, there's been a lot of like every fucking team that's coming here forever for like 2 decades. I can't even like I lost count of how many fucking players. Like, I still remember Brandon Jennings coming in like, yeah, dude, it's gonna be 90s next. I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but Brandon, you got to play defense for part of that. Like, that's how it works. But like this team, forget like
Funny guy,
people,
Brandon Jennings.
people try to put the 2020, 2021 team in that category. And it wasn't because they didn't have the talent. But this team has that fucking mindset, that mentality, that just like we're gonna get out of the mud shit.
That dog in them.
Yeah, they do. They do. But they also have talent. Like real fucking talent. What are they, like top 5 now in offensive rating? Like there's real fucking talent here. And it's insane to me that before the season, people were talking about this team as like a top 10, bottom 10 talent team. And the people that said that are the people that were, oh, well, why aren't we tanking? Why aren't we doing this? You all should fucking seriously go find Jesus, spend a day in church, or in
Go to Emmanuel
temple,
quickly.
or in temple, or in synagogue, or wherever the fuck you pray, and think about your decisions, because you guys fucked up really, really hard. This team was never that bad, and that was always my contention from last season. It's always my contention, and getting Jalen Brunson has only emphasized that even more. And Jalen Brunson tonight, he made Donovan Mitchell his fucking play toy. What is yo, wait, no, I know Tyrese knows this. What's Shawn Michaels' intro music, bro?
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I got the looks that drive the girls, while I got the moves that really move them. I set you up and down, that's fine. I'm just a sexy boy. Sexy boy! I'm not your boy toy. Boy toy!
That's Jalen Brunson, baby. Jalen Brunson, the Heartbreak Kid. Let's go.
Wow.
I was gonna hit the high note, Tyrese, if you didn't like the background singers for you, but you nailed it.
Thank you. I tried my best.
Oh man.
Was SmackDown good tonight, by the way?
Yes, it
Tyrese?
was. Roll to WrestleMania, baby!
They
All right.
actually had. That's weird.
We've been a little bit too positive. Let's bring it back to our roots. David Goodman, who's been on a roll with the RJ comments in the stream, he says, I wouldn't play RJ more than 16 minutes a night in the playoffs, but I doubt Dibs will agree.
Is he still in the stream?
I think he might be.
Ask if he's still in the stream. Ask him.
David Goodman, are you still in the stream?
All right.
I think he is.
Why did Sam have to ask? Why didn't you?
I don't know.
Ask?
I don't know. All I would ask is this: do you think that do you think that he would actually start somebody over RJ in the playoffs?
It has to be IQ.
Right. Well, or it could be Hart. It could be Hart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if he's not going to start either of those guys over them, he's not going to get 16 minutes. That's just what it is.
Well, I think what David's saying is he would play, because right now RJ is playing the first 7 minutes of each half and then starting the fourth quarter. So I think what David's saying is he would give him
Reverse.
that shit. What?
Like reverse that, you mean?
No, he would have him pull him out at the same time he's being pulled out right now, but he just wouldn't put him back in like he did with Alfred Payton. He would give him the Alfred Payton role. He would just
That's
start
essentially what David is trying to insinuate.
That's what David's saying. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's what David is saying he would do. There's literally precedent for it. That's
are we sure he won't do that?
We might get to the point where he might.
I think he might do that.
Wow.
I think he was pretty. I think the only reason he didn't do it tonight is because, one, he knew he didn't need to, and two, he needs to keep the team
together.
Yeah, he's got to keep the team together.
I think RJ does enough things that Tibbs values, that he's going to keep getting his 2 shifts per half, and I don't see that changing.
I disagree.
I think he might have a cap of 24 minutes.
Yeah, I think playoffs are a different thing. I think the minutes he's giving RJ right now to me seem like he understands. I feel like he knows he has to keep him on board. He's got to like keep the ship together here. Like
He played 30 minutes tonight.
yeah, and he deserved how many of those minutes?
There was a stretch in that third quarter where it was just like, yo.
That's how you were saying, though. You were saying
no, but what I'm saying is like he played Alfred Payton minutes towards the end of the season that were like
not
22,
30.
23. Not 30, but he played him like 24 minutes and be like, why the fuck did he deserve 24 minutes? And then literally the first game into the playoffs, he was like, okay, we're done. Like, yeah, no, we don't need to do this anymore. Like,
but you remember how bad that was? Like the first 5 minutes of game 1, Peyton was like, it was like somebody gave him
Jeff, I just want to run you through this. Like, this was literally the start of the second half today. Okay, this is the start of the second half. Knicks get a stop. They have a 3-on-1 fast break. Somehow, RJ blows layup. Cavs, they go get a fucking, because you missed the layup, they go get a bucket. Okay, fine. Ball comes back to RJ. He takes a pull-up 3. He fucking side shanks that shit. Like, that, like, man, you could have killed so many Scottish kings with that type of Scottish. Like, that type of side shank. Like, that was straight out of fucking Braveheart or some shit, man. Like, you could have killed, like, you could have killed some real kings with that. And like it was just like there, and then he has that fucking possession. The one that Obi got mad at him for, I would have fucking lost my. I totally get it. I totally get it.
Why did Obi get mad at him? I'm genuinely curious. I don't know.
Obi gets, it was like I don't remember if it was a rebound or a steal, whatever the fuck it was. It was a long rebound or a steal, whatever. Obi gets his 3-on-1. He advances it to RJ, and he's running on the opposite side. He's got an obvious alley-oop. Like,
yeah, I remember. Yes, and he didn't pass it to him, and he smoked.
He didn't pass it to him, right? Because and what happened is RJ had in his mind, I'm gonna go up for this layup because I got it. I got the angle. And then when he went up, he realized, oh, I can't jump anymore, so I can't get the layup. And then he fucking tried to make some pass to like Grimes behind him.
Yes,
and it was just a fucking disaster of a thing. And then Grimes, like, it was a bad whatever had happened right after that. It doesn't need to rehash it, but it's like he has got to stop having these stretches of like, I need to be him play. Motherfucker, you are not him. You are not him right now. You are not him. You need to just be.
And it's okay if you're not him. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of other guys that are him.
I don't give a fuck if you're not him. I just want you to be
good.
Just be good. That's it. I don't need you to be him. I don't need you to be fucking anybody other than just be
Himmy Neutron. Yeah, Himmy Turner.
Anything else, Sam?
Nope.
What the fuck are you talking about, Sam?
Sam said Jimmy Neutron, by the way. I want to
Himmy Neutron.
Himmy Neutron. Just be fine. Just be totally normal. Just be like a fucking normal player in transition. How many fucking transition points this motherfucker cost us today? How many?
Like, I would say at least 6 or 8.
Yeah, and those aren't just 2-point swings. Those are 4-point swings.
Because they go down the other way and they score.
Fucking swings. There were at least 3 4-point swings I counted on RJ transition plays tonight. Like, I am sorry. That, like,
if he's going to be that rough in the playoffs, I could imagine that his shifts are much shorter.
If any of these fucking idiots out there that, like, fucking clip me when I shit on RJ, you want to know why I shit on him? And they're like,
Zach
why don't you say anything when IQ has a bad shooting game? I'll tell you the exact difference, right? When IQ has a bad shooting game, he gets back in transition. We don't get beat down on the floor in transition.
Exactly. Watch IQ's transition defense tonight.
RJ cost us 3 4-point plays tonight. 3 should have had 2 points, cost us 2 points on the other end. That is a fucking 12-point swing. That's a huge fucking swing. How many of those plays did IQ have? 0. How many of those plays did Hart have? 0. How many of those plays did Grimes have? 0. Like, I'm sorry. He has to be better. The $107 million man has to be worth $107 million at some point in time. I'm sorry. Like, this was a game. This is a game. This is a fucking stretch. Fuck the game. This is a fucking stretch here tonight. Like, that's coming up. Fuck this game. He fucked up his game. Cool. Whatever. It happens. 1-14. God bless. We're all good. We got 4 games coming up. Show the fuck up. Can you be the guy? Can you be the difference one night that carries us to a win when we need it? Not just some bullshit fucking game in January or February or fucking December. Tonight, today, tomorrow. Can you be the fucking guy?
And to people that are thinking, like,
let's just see it. Like, I want to see it because I want him to be good, bro. Like, I don't understand this idea of like, oh, well, if you criticize him, you hate him. No, I criticize him because I'm like, I fucking expect better. I expect better of you. I'm sorry. That entire second half performance from him. To me, he's lucky he played as long as he did. I'll say that.
I mean, to Swin's point, I mean, people are going to be like, oh, well, we won, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, in the playoffs, a lot of these swing plays that, he messed up tonight, those are huge in the playoffs. Like, playoffs are all about margins, as Jeff brought up earlier. And, the Knicks tonight, they won on 2 huge margins with the offensive rebounds and turnovers. But, like, these swing plays in transition, I mean, if he makes these type of mistakes in the playoffs, I think Dibs is going to have a much shorter leash with him.
Dude.
As he did with
that first
Alfred
play,
Payton, especially when you have capable guys that are not making these plays, like in Emmanuel Quickly, whose transition defense was excellent tonight, especially late down the stretch on Karis LeVert and Darius Garland. You have Josh Hart.
See that block that
and
Quickly had
Grimes
at the end of the game?
I think so.
Quickly had a block in the game. I don't know if you got credit for it. There's a block. I gotta go back. I'll go back and watch like the last.
Let me see the.
I'll probably go back and
score.
I'll probably go back and do a lot of things to last like half the game anyway.
He did get credit with a steal, no block though.
He had like this play. It was at the very end. It was like towards the last 3-4 minutes of the game.
He doesn't have a block on the box score. So
but I'm telling you, man, there was one like I'll find it. I know I'll find it tomorrow because he had this play where like he came from the corner. Somebody, I think it might have been Mobley or whatever, came from behind and like just grabbed the ball, and then like there were like 2 or 3 other guys that came in then and blocked it too. But it was just like, I mean, that shit is like this is what I'm saying though, is like I can literally remember those plays from IQ. I am dying. I am fucking sitting here. What's that? What's the Kendrick? Dying of thirst. Dying of thirst. I'm fucking dying of thirst, bro. RJ, give me any of those fucking plays. Give me any of them. And I will be sitting here fucking singing the gospel of RJ Barrett. But I can't because he doesn't give me that shit. He's sitting there. I'm sorry, man. That first 2 minutes of the third quarter was up there with like, that's like fucking international sabotage or something. That was fucking crazy. Like he fucking botched a 3-on-1. He botched a 3-on-1 fast break somehow at the rim with a layup that Grimes literally gave it to him to like, just like, okay, just, hierarchy. Okay, fine. Like we get fucking misses that shit. They get a bucket. Then he comes out and takes that brick ass 3. I'm like, I couldn't. I'm sorry, man. There were like, if I was being an asshole, I would clip a lot of plays from the game, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to because they won and it was awesome, and I'm very, very happy about it. But like, RJ Barrett just needs to fucking be better than what he was tonight. And I don't care. I know he was a +10 or whatever the fuck it was.
And we won.
I promise you that +10 has absolutely nothing to do with him. It really doesn't. I'm not saying that as like, I don't like saying that. I hate saying that. But like, it had nothing to do with him. That's, like I said, like, the motherfucker's putting up empty ass numbers this year.
So
people are calling.
I thought his defense was fine.
I
And I thought he battled on the rebound defensive glass.
think he did this probably the last 15 minutes of the game, I'd say. Yeah, I agree.
People are
So-
calling the RJ Obi thing a mid-off between them as they were arguing on the bench. As
I
Jeff
thought
pointed out earlier, that tweet that was hilarious about them arguing who
Obi
was
was good
worse.
tonight. Obi was good tonight. Obi was good tonight. That's all I'll say.
All right, this is probably a great time for this question then. My hug, Jeff is about to lose his mind.
My boy, Hug Life. Yo, Hug Life. Good to see you in chat, bro.
Like
Jeff,
it's
Jeff,
every game,
how about you start
man.
us? How about you start us off answering this question? Level of trust.
No, can we, no.
in
Let's let,
RJ
no,
on a
no.
scale of 1
I
to
know.
10.
Let's let Tyrese start us off.
All right, Tyrese, you start us.
The bars in hell.
Why can't we see you, Tyrese?
You don't want to see my face, dude. I'm just watching RJ Barrett highlights and I'm bleeding out of my
Yo.
eyes.
Would you like highs broke out?
Jeff does not want to be associated with any clips that go viral.
Level of trust in RJ on a scale of 1 to 10. I'll tell you what I trust more, and I think I'll give you an idea of what I want. Scam calls. I trust Julius Randle in the clutch more than RJ Barrett. I trust the 45th president more than RJ Barrett.
Oh my god! All right.
That's so racist.
What else? I trust the governor of my state more than RJ Barrett.
No, you
Wow.
don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. I know that's a lie. I know that's a lie.
I trust the suspension in his fucking wheelchair more than RJ Barrett.
Oh
Do you
my
trust the
gosh.
system more than RJ Barrett?
No, that's pushing it. Okay, I'm gonna make a prediction now, and if I sound crazy, so be it. I don't think he plays more than 150 minutes total in the Cavs Knicks series. I don't think he cracked 150. So if we're assuming he
Even if
plays,
it goes 7 games.
Can you do it per game because
Yeah.
Okay,
It doesn't mean
so-
anything.
I'm assuming that say it's a 5-game series and he plays 30 minutes a night, that'd be 150.
Do you think we're gonna beat them in 5 games? That's
thanks.
your
We know
prediction?
math, Tyrese. I'm just
Okay.
what do you think his bar
Yeah.
is for minutes per game?
Okay, minutes per game.
Yeah, what because I'm
but-
trying to figure out what your prediction is. Like what is the basis of your prediction here?
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets minutes to get his minutes per game drops off. So I want to say 22.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually don't think that's unreasonable at all.
It could probably be 18, dude. I
Okay,
think
but so put your level of trust. Be honest. Like, what is it? 4? Then
3.
Okay.
It's just not a good matchup for him. I'm sorry.
we know you hate him, Tyrese. It's fun.
I'm justified.
I sucks because if the answer was just like what's between his ears, I would say like such a high number. I just think physically he's not able to do what he thinks he can do in his head, and that hurts.
Scott Steiner, he's fat.
But I do think.
Oh my god! Big Papa Pump.
Let's go. Sway those.
Oh, nice. That's a great monologue. I don't know. He's still, even in a down season, he still has a ton of huge moments in like pressure moments. I'll still say like 7 or an 8 in terms of trust. I just trust that he'll show up.
I have I'm like neutral, like 5. Like I actually am with Jeff in the sense of like, I'll put it this way: those corner threes that Quick got at the very, very end, which I didn't think were like very consequential, by the way. They were like, it'd been nice if he made them, but I thought the game was over by that point. I like guarantee, I'm like almost positive RJ would have made one of those, but it's like I don't trust him to do the things that he wants himself to do. Like I don't trust him to get the ball, to bring the ball up the floor and just like make the right decisions. I don't trust him to do that shit. And that's my biggest problem with him right now is I don't trust him to do those things. So like my level of trust in RJ is like on ball -70, off ball like probably like a 9. Off ball, off ball, I think he's really good. I think he makes the right decisions off ball most of the time, especially down the stretch.
He had
Down
a
the
really
stretch,
nice
like
catch
down the
on
stretch, when he gets the ball, when he's spotted up anywhere on the 3-point line, he's just like, okay, I'll shoot it. I'm like, good, that's the right choice. Good job. When he gets the ball spotted up in the third quarter, he's like, I'm gonna take him off the bounce. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't. No. Like he's just doing dumbass shit. He took who did he do at the start of the fourth quarter? He tried to take Karis LeVert, right? Off the bounce, and I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like fucking he tried to like spin and just got then he had picked
Stop.
up you remember the floater he tried to take? The floater he tried to take
Which
on Evan
one?
Mobley was probably the most
Oh
hilarious
man.
thing that happened tonight. I was like, did you notice the 7-foot guy like literally in your face? I don't know if you saw him. Like he was literally right there. And as soon as you put it up, he was just like, food. Like I don't understand what goes through his mind sometimes. But at the end of games, when he's spotted up outside the 3-point line, I do trust him because he's shown that he can make those shots and he's willing to those shots, and that matters. So yeah, like I'll put it at like a 5. I'll put him at a 5.
I am at a 4 or a 5. I mean, I was one of the people that brought up, earlier in the year, his clutch moments, his clutch stats from all his time in New York. So, in those moments, I do have some level of trust there, but every. Oh my God.
Look, what you need to do is like dangle his citizenship and be like, if you fuck this series up, you're out of the country. Like,
Wow. Wow.
MAGA Reese over here.
He's like straight up going to deportation. Like, all right.
Ice.
The Justin Bieber shit from 2014.
Ice Spice, but in a different way.
Oh my gosh.
More to Sean Paul. Report them.
We need RJ to find his own Ice Spice. Like we need who.
Well, he might have had her and he might have lost her in his own volition.
Ouch. Ouch. Win.
He might have fucked it up. I don't know.
You telling me he need to be a family man?
Oh my god.
Hey, look, yeah, he's a 22-year-old boy in New York City. I don't blame him.
Man, I guess Caitlin Clark really is her, huh? This is
Is she
pretty
doing some
unbelievable.
things right now?
She is playing the 36-0 South Carolina Gamecocks, and she has 41, 8, and 6, and just put the team up 4 with 8 seconds left.
That's some quickly shit.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what the comments we got here.
No, but I really want to say this, like, because I know that, like, there will be people that were like, oh, like, Quickly didn't shoot that well tonight. The thing is, Quickly didn't shoot well tonight. I thought he had a terrible offensive game tonight, at least in terms of his shot decision making. And even on like tonight, at the end of the game, I was like, I want him out on the floor because his defense. Watch some of those possessions they had in transition in the fourth quarter that the Cavs got in transition. His defense was unfucking real. He had one where like I thought Darius Garland had him dead to rights, absolutely dead to rights, and he's like, he puts his fucking arms out there and he's just like, and Darius Garland's like, I couldn't make the layup. I couldn't do it. And it's like, he just does, like, he's a special player, man. He just finds ways to help you win on the margins all the fucking time. He'll always do it. He will always do it. I will always trust that guy. Like, and that ultimately is, to me, the question facing this front office is like, do you want to be beholden to RJ Barrett, or do you just want to take the guy that's like clearly good already? That's what I think is their choice. That doesn't and that doesn't seem to be their choice.
To your point
next
that
year.
you made earlier, they don't have to make that choice.
Yeah, they don't have to make that choice next year, but they do have to make that choice at some point. So, and to me, that choice is.
I'm not sure I agree that they.
I'm doing
even
the
are
Vince
going-
Carter.
I'm
It's
not
over.
sure I agree that they're 100% to have to make that choice. I do agree that there are plenty of outcomes where they do have to make the decision. But I mean, look, if RJ makes, if RJ makes the improvements that I personally believe he's capable of, and I don't know, maybe I'm too high on this core, but like with Grimes and quickly hitting restricted free agency, and like Hart is going to be, we have Hart's bird rights. Like I would be good. I genuinely would just be good with watching this for the next 10 years. I honestly would. Like, and I don't think the title equity would be zero. I would believe in these, and then just trusting the front office to keep drafting well, and
I would believe the title equity is not zero if. I mean, to me, that's all about RJ. Honestly,
it's about who?
RJ.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I'm clarifying. He's gotta show up next year at the start of next year. I'm not saying the writings that like he can. There's still plenty of time for the season, not to salvage the season, but to like he can have some big moments in the playoffs. But
Yeah, he
in
can't
terms
show
of his,
he can't show up looking up like fucking like FBL Sam and London's theory at the start of training camp.
That is racist as fuck.
Wow. Wow.
What?
First of all, how is it racist? I can't even see you, Tyrese.
You've seen me before.
Yeah, you look good, bro.
All right, man. Just walk it back now.
Starting to walk back. You're a good-looking guy.
I forget if it was your last pod, Schwinn, or if it was the last post game, but I just hope very much that the front office doesn't overreact to whatever happens these next 4 games and whatever happens in the playoffs, and sell super low this summer. And I think we can trust them to not do it, because I want to give RJ at least another training camp or another offseason, and at least like see what it looks like next season. I want to give him at least that. I think
I'm
he
actually so I'm curious about this, and I know Tyrese has thoughts about this. But like, okay, so you watch a game like tonight, right? And the Knicks win by what, 14? They won 130, 116 was the final score.
Yeah.
If you just subbed in, and obviously it doesn't work like this, right? But it's like, if you subbed in somebody who I don't even really care to trade RJ for, like OG Anunoby, RJ, like honestly, they probably win by like 25 points.
Has Press Valley talked you into the vision I've been telling you?
No, he's never gonna talk. Shut up. Like he's never gonna talk you into this loser ass vision of like bum ass motherfuckers who can't dribble and suck ass in their own right.
I mean,
But like,
that is RJ Barrett, but continue.
I mean, you're talking about like an average.
Have you been turned on Mikal Bridges after tonight, Schwinn?
No, I don't even know what he did tonight, and I
He
saw
got 45.
He had 42 on 70%.
Congrats, dude. I don't care. That guy could fucking drop 70, and I would be like, cool, go kill yourself.
Wow.
Man,
Like,
come on.
Wow.
I don't care. Mikal Bridges.
It's the Lord's night. Let's leave him be.
Mid-Cal Bridges. Mid-Cal Bridges is leading a mid offense. Congratulations. You want a cookie?
Schwinn was
Bloody
speaking
one?
allegedly, by the way. He didn't actually mean
Yeah,
that.
allegedly.
Family
Where did
stream. Family
What did
stream.
I say allegedly?
Family stream.
I don't think you actually want somebody to take their own life, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, no. I wouldn't say that.
It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that goes without saying.
Yes, we're
Definitely.
What drink was it tonight, Schwinn?
It's happy. I'm just happy that we're only an hour and 48 minutes into this.
You guys remember, like, y'all remember like 8 months ago when everybody applauded the Hawks for giving up stuff for DeJounte Murray? And
Okay, no, I'll say this. I'll say this on the Cal Bridges. Hands up. I was wrong. He's definitely much better than I thought he was. Definitely much better than I thought he was.
This is real growth from you, Schwinn.
I've done this many times.
It won't
Shut
happen
up.
in your. It won't happen in your
When have
height.
you ever admitted you're wrong, Tyrese?
I never ruled.
Why don't we talk about how you were like,
It's always a bit for
I would
Tyrese.
have started Taj Gibson over Obi Toppin today. Fucking loser.
I guess what it was the OG. Bucket.
Yeah, what had he done? What had he done? Fucking died on his knees and given he contaminated the team with arthritis or something. Get the fuck out of here.
Contaminated.
He's clearly stepped up in Brooklyn, but at the end of the day, I'm like, is he a guy that, like, to me, your third option? He does the defensive part of it obviously very well. I think your third option needs to be like a playmaker to some extent. And I still watch it, and I'm like, you look like an idiot when you try to pass the ball. Like, doesn't seem like a good playmaker to me. That's just me. I don't know. I'm wrong, maybe. I don't know. I don't watch his amazing 40-point bomb today that a bunch of people added me about. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I was watching the Knicks fucking dick down the Cavs. My bad.
Yeah, instead of talking about RJ or Mikal Bridges, I think we should just talk about, if we're gonna, laugh, we could have traded for DeJounte Murray. That would.
Yeah. That would have fucking. We might have fucking lost the game 114 to 110, but he would have had like 15 assists, so that'd have been awesome.
Wait, DeJounte Murray's not even that good of a passer. Fuck out of here, man. This dude stinks.
Yeah, but he would have had like 15. I didn't say he's a good passer. I said he would have 15 assists and would have lost.
God. DeJounte Murray blows. I got to see him in person. I'm just like, what is moving y'all about this man? Like, that sucks.
They think he's handsome.
Yeah.
Oh, please. You got to stop using Calvin Klein modelability as fucking ways to rate players, because then Cam Reddish be the best player in the
He's not
fucking
playing
league.
fair, Sam.
Man, it was acting that the Spurs organization was against him. Like, no, bro, you're just kind of mid.
No, he was part of the "you're not playing fair" movement this summer. I think fair to say.
All right, Ginger Beard Man 27 says it's hard to criticize late game coaching in a 14-point win, but if Mitchell's up to 5 fouls in the playoffs, we need to hunt him on defense and try to get him to foul out.
They did.
It did.
Brunson put him in the action. Like every time.
Yep.
He just
Yeah,
didn't foul.
that was awesome. That was actually fucking great to see. I was like, we did it. We did the thing.
Finally hunted somebody in the clutch.
Well, it wasn't just we hunted them. We also were like, no, Brunson, you hunt him.
Yeah.
You do it. Because
Brunson just sees blood every time he sees Donovan Mitchell.
Brunson, Brunson's better than Mitchell.
Yeah.
If he keeps doing this to him in the playoffs, keeps knocking
It's
his head
not
in.
just about doing it. Like,
I can't get there.
why?
I'm sorry.
Jeff will get there after Jalen Brunson scores like
What
37 points per
has
game
Mitchell
in a
done this year
4-1
that's
gentleman's
what has
sweep.
Mitchell done this year that's so incredible? I really want to know.
I think Mitchell's been a really good scorer, but at the same time, I think like Brunson since January has been different. Has been a caliber.
No.
Jalen Brunson's been like on that level of scoring since January.
Last year the Cavs, before they all like died, because they literally died at one point in the season.
Yeah, they really did.
Before they all died, they were like a
They all
top 2 or 3
died.
seed in the season or in the
Mhm.
East. And then they all died, and it was like, oh, now they're not
They
good
all
anymore.
died.
And it was like, well, did they all die? Like, I think they all died. Like, I think that's what happened. Like, I don't think they just sucked. I think they all fucking died. Like, I really don't think Mitchell's elevated them as much as people think they've been elevated. Like,
He's not.
they
But I
were.
don't think we believe that. And it's weird
I
to say
do.
on a night he scored 48, but I don't think we believe that Brunson's elevated the Knicks as much
I
as
do.
people believe either.
I do. I do.
You literally
And
just said, literally
No,
an hour ago, you were just talking about how good the Knicks are, how they were so good at the end of last season.
They were
how
so
have
good.
all
They
the
were so
talent.
yeah. But I never said that he didn't elevate us. What I said was that team was
I
starting.
didn't
from
say
a
he
high-
didn't elevate him. I said
No,
to the
but
degree
that
people
team
think.
that team was starting from a higher base than what people thought they were starting from. That was my argument. That maybe I probably didn't say it effectively. Because,
I
you
agree
know,
with that.
I was like, I had a Grand Marnier in me, as it happens. But like that team was starting from a higher base than I think most people thought they were starting from. And you add a Brunson to that, and then now you take the leap that Quickly has made, which is fucking massive. And I think Grimes has also just made a leap too. Grimes has been fucking awesome in the last 7 or 8 games. And I was talking about this in one of our pods after All-Star break, where I was like, this is like when Quickly made his little leap last year. Grimes could make a similar leap now. I think he is making that leap now. And I'm not saying that because he's just like shooting better. Like it's that he is shooting. He's just like he took some bullshit shots tonight that I'm like, I don't know if you should take those, but I'm kind of happy you took them because I'm like, those are terrible shots. Good job. Take more of those. Like to have the confidence to take those shots means something. So I think he's making a little leap now too. And then you got Hartenstein. Like this team is just fucking loaded. Honestly, I think this team is fucking loaded. I really do. And I think Brunson, you get the version you just saw tonight. Obviously, that guy takes anybody into overdrive. You put him next to like the group of guys you have tonight. Like, for example, right? Like, I mean, the best way to put it is this, right? Quickly could have a bad shooting night tonight, and you put him next to what Brunson did today, and that still is a fucking huge value add. And it's like the Knicks have a bunch of those guys where it's like their impact isn't necessarily dependent on their particular shooting. If other guys are shooting well, they can help boost the team up. And the Knicks got a bunch of those guys now. This team is loaded. They're really, really good. And Brunson is definitely a huge part of that. So basically, Jeff, fuck you. You're lying.
I mean, you don't. Yeah, I mean, I just.
No,
feel
I'm joking.
like,
Obviously, yeah.
No, I know. But I just feel like all the data says Mitchell's been one of the 7 best players in basketball this season. And
honestly, I'm not even being an asshole. Like, what data? I don't know the data.
Oh, just like the nerd stats that you guys hate. Just like I don't know.
EPM.
To be fair, it's been a little bit since I've sifted through it all. But I just remember looking at like EPM and Raptor like a few weeks ago and seeing Mitchell like at the top. And I just checked on-off stuff, and on-off stuff doesn't love Mitchell this year, but also doesn't love Brunson either. So it's like, okay, like
on-off has never loved Mitchell though, so it's just what it is.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Okay,
I
20.
agree. If you look at those Jets, I mean, look, I was the guy who's before the start of the season said that I thought Mitchell was hugely overrated and that Gobert was actually the foundation of those Jazz teams. So like,
stick with your foundation, bro. You got it.
Yeah, I'm just saying I have no like dog in this fight. I'm not trying to like.
No, you
I'm
got a dog in it. You got to
reacting to what's happening, and I don't know.
Pick the OG.
Hawkeye 420. This question is for you, Jeff. Does Pythag have us as a 50-win team? I ask because we lost at least 7 BS games that should have been W's. No. This team is great.
I think they're one game worse by Pythag. So what's their record right now?
They're a 46-win team by Pythag.
Yeah. So they're 45-33. Yeah. So they're 46.
By the end of the season, they'll be like a 49-win team.
Yeah.
Well, if they just run the table and win all 4,
they'll be a
50-win team.
Then they'd be a 50-win team.
By Pythag.
Yeah. Well,
it's not too late though. It's not too late for Tibbs to gain a Pythag win back. All he's got to do is
blow it. They got to win a game that they shouldn't win, basically.
Yeah, they've got to win a game that they aren't, but yeah, exactly. So like win a close game where Pythag thinks they should have lost. They can do it. I believe in Tibbs.
If there was one. Okay, so it's just what game would that be? What are their games left? They got Washington on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Indiana.
And then the Pacers. So at New Orleans is the only option.
At New Orleans and then Indiana again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Win a close game at New Orleans.
Yeah, that's probably the one that, they shouldn't win, but I can see that one. Yeah, I can see
that.
Yeah. All right. While Clyde Frazier brings it to the whole team for a second, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust the Knicks free throw shooting in the playoffs?
I should name off the things I trust more than the Knicks free throw shooting.
No, can you just answer the question?
I trust Sam to wear a do-rag. Sam's do-rag staying on more than I trust the Knicks free throw shooting.
I mean, his do-rag is always it's like a 10. I don't really. So you trust the Knicks at a 10. Good job. Good work.
Shut the fuck up. It's like a 5.
Sam, good job, dude. Good job with your do-rag, by the way.
Not following the strict dress code, but it's cool. It's cool.
Wow, I didn't know there was
Oh,
a dress
yeah.
code.
Yeah, we're like the Yankees, bro. You got to shave that facial hair.
Facts. We want a clean ship around these parts.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's like the free throw shooting. I think it gets more intense, I guess, in the playoffs because it's like more pressure, and like I don't know if the pressure's getting to the Knicks or anything, but if it's gonna, I don't trust them. I don't trust them shooting free throws.
I'm gonna just say this. I weirdly trust them in the playoffs. Other than Randall.
Why?
Wow.
I have no idea.
I thought you were gonna have like some. I think you're gonna have some like sneaky reason or something.
I have no reasoning for this. This is just a gut feeling. My gut is, I think everybody other than Randall, I basically trust in clutch moments on this team. Like I trust RJ. I trust RJ Barrett in clutch moments, even like especially with the like shooting. I trust him in clutch moments. I trust Quickly. I trust Brunson. I trust Hart. I trust Grimes. I trust all these guys in clutch moments shooting the ball, other than Randall. That's it. That's my only guy that I don't think I trust.
Randall has been actually pretty.
I think he's been good at free throws,
clutch
right? Yeah.
Free throw shooter this year. So like that's the funniest thing about that. Oh man.
Right. So I just like these last 2 games were. I mean, this is the other thing. Like they won tonight by 14 points, and they fucking left like at least like what 5-6 points on the fucking field like that you would expect them to get. Like that's crazy. Like Brunson, this motherfucker bricked 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. I was like, are you fucking for real right now? Don't be that guy. And he was that guy. But then he was that guy, and it was great. But like, no, I weirdly have a feeling they'll be like nails in the playoffs. I don't know why. It's just a feeling. That's it. Just gut.
All right.
I agree.
Are you Jeff? Are you agree with that?
I agree with you. Yeah.
You think they'll
Don't
like?
Always?
But like you weirdly think like they'll just be good in the playoffs of shooting free throws?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why either, but like something about it, I'm like not like them missing the free throws they missed in the regular season to me doesn't feel like pressure a lot of time. It just feels like stupid luck. That's what it feels like.
You sounded surprised, and I was like, I feel like me and you see the game very like I feel like we agree all the time. So I was surprised that you were.
We do, but it was just like a very like analytical question. So.
Oh yeah, that's fair. No, I think if I was to take an analytical spin, I think they're actually like their free throw shooting this year just doesn't make sense to me. And if you extend the sample size, I feel like they're a much better free throw shooting team than they've performed this season. Like Quickly's not an 80% free throw shooter. Grimes weirdly missed free throws. Brunson, like if you just besides Mitch, nobody should be a bad free throw shooter. And I trust their mentality, and I trust them to be ready for the playoffs. So yeah, I think the free throws will start going in at a better clip. Why not start in the playoffs?
All right. Any final thoughts before we head out of here?
Tyrese sucks ass.
All right.
I have to do a podcast with Sprint tomorrow, and I fucking hate it.
It's true. It's right.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah.
It's for Stricken Roll. 1, 2, paywall on 3. 1, 2, 3, paywall.
1, 2, 3, paywall.
You want to listen to me fucking yell at Tyrese? We'll have it tomorrow.
All right. So thank you all for joining us. At one point, we had at least 50 viewers here. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe. We're on our way to 1K subs. We just recently surpassed 700, so thank you all for your support. Knicks' next game is, I believe, on Sunday versus the Wizards at MSG. Hopefully, Knicks can pick up another win. We'll be back then. That game is at 6 p.m., so, not too late of a post game that will be. Check out all the links to this in the description to everything Strickland related. We got links to the site, merch. Make sure you guys get your merch. We got brand new merch there. Check it out. We got links to the site, merch, Patreon, as they just plugged, Strickland Roll, all that good stuff. We got links to the Twitter. Make sure you guys are following us on Twitter. And we are also on Instagram at thestrick.land. All great ways to support and follow along with your Strickland Knicks related content. Everyone, enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy the Final Four. We'll be back on Sunday. Peace.